Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 43rd Rome Total War Brotherhood battle that I've put onto YouTube. The battle today is supplied by Brotherhood member Legion 22, who has transferred this battle to me, and I now have it in my saved games. Here we are. I'm going to load the battle here, and as you can see, I've got all my saved games here. And what we're going to do, we're going to watch battle 55, as you can see there. Click onto that, and there you go, and a load battle there. And here we have the saved battle loading up now. As you can see, the red bar at the bottom of the screen there filling up, and it's just loading the saved game up now.
Units on my order.
And here we are. The team today consists of Legion 22, Brotherhood member Legion 22, who has bought the Rome Julii faction. And then we have RTW clan member Miller, who is in the King's clan. And then we have Brotherhood member Conan, who has also bought the Rome Julii faction. Conan and another RTW player called Cannon were the two people that actually started the Brotherhood back in January 2005. And for the clan to still be going as strong as it is today, I think just goes to show what a good job they did at the beginning there. So that's the team, and it looks pretty good. And here is the other team, and this is a team full of Brotherhood members here. Here we have BH member Uther, who has bought the SBQR faction. And if you notice, right from the beginning of the game here, right at the very start, he's being aggressive and charging his infantry over and cavalry over as well, showing extremely aggressive and attacking tactics there. And it's always good to see, I think, an attack right from the beginning. Gets the game kind of off to a great start. And his teammate consists of Brotherhood member Cal, who has bought the Scipii faction. And then we have Brotherhood member TR, who has bought the Macedon faction. Now TR plays the Macedon faction extremely well, and in this game that's no exception. He's sometimes using the way he uses Macedon is extremely aggressive, which is unusual for the way that people use Macedon. Usually they use them as a defensive role. And here is a very old-fashioned tactic here, using a cavalry general to smash into pilot shield units that are in open order formation. Because the cavalry general's got such good upgrades and such good specs, it doesn't suffer many casualties, but causes the enemy a lot of casualties in open order. At this stage of the battle, you can see Uther's cavalry general has once again charged into Legion 22's pilot unit there, which is an open order. And here you have Samnite gladiators, and these are extremely unusual to be bought on the 31k battlefield, and they are pretty tough and very underestimated unit. And as you can see, they're withstanding a massive cavalry hit as well as fighting infantry at the same time. And every now and again Uther brings these units because I think he rates them so well. I think because they're so unusual, I'll just put the game on pause for a minute so you can have a look at them. And as you can see, I should imagine that most of you that play 31k very rarely see Samnite gladiators on the battlefield. But Uther plays them extremely well when he does bring them. And as you see just then, not only were they fighting infantry, but they also fought off a cavalry attack as well. So they're pretty hardy troops. Let's see what happens. As you can see now, a great lot of pilot exchange has just gone on there. Over on the far left flank, you can see that Conan's Julii army there are actually engaging with TR's Macedon army here. And if you notice, Conan is moving the bulk of his army round to the flank, because those of you that have seen other battle videos that I've done, you'll see that very often I explain that we don't like to fight pike units head on with Rome. You need to flank them, or better still get behind them, because that's where their weak points are. Trying to fight them head on, unless you've got a plan to try and hold the units there while you move infantry round the rear, is not very good for Roman infantry really, because those pikes are so long. It takes a lot to fight through. You can see that TR's archers, Cretan archers here on the left flank of Conan's infantry are firing fire arrows into his infantry here. This not only causes casualties, but this lowers morale as well. Also, if you notice, TR's got cavalry out there on the left, Conan's left flank as well. So TR is not in a bad position there really. If you notice there, Conan's decided not to carry on his flanking movement around the left flank, and he's kind of centralised his army a bit there, his infantry a bit there. And my guess is he'll probably move it round to the other flank here, trying to maybe mess up TR's battle line a bit here, you see, because obviously when the Macedon pikemen have got their pikes down, they move extremely slowly. And what Conan is trying to do here is move his infantry round, making the use of their speed. But if you notice, as he moved, his infantry kind of got hooked onto the Macedon pikes. And if you notice now, he's kind of fighting the Macedon pike units head on. Because as he moved, they kind of, as I say, they got kind of hooked onto those pikes. And now it's difficult for them to move round to the flank now without losing a lot of men. So now Conan is actually fighting TR's pikemen head on. And this is usually not a very good tactic for Rome. As you see, Conan's trying to move some infantry units around the rear of TR's units there, plus cavalry. He's trying to move cavalry around the rear as well. And if he charges them in, usually they can rout the pike units from that angle, but only 3 units of cavalry obviously just couldn't do it there.
The gallant general has fallen and caused his troops much heartache. Much better to have lived.
As you can see over on the left of TR now, Cal sending reinforcements in the form of Scipii infantry over. And if you notice now, TR has got his Macedon companion cavalry in behind Conan, but Conan spotted the danger and has disengaged his infantry from the pikes and brought them back to meet the threat of the Macedon cavalry there, which is a good move. And all that TR can do now is get his companion cavalry out the way now. If you notice that Legion 22 is sending over cavalry assistance here to help Conan, and if TR can, he better get his cavalry out the way, or they're going to get hit by all that fresh cavalry there, which he's doing. If you notice though that Conan's army that was fighting the Macedons head on, a lot of those units have routed or have been severely weakened now. And if you notice that TR is now moving forward with his pikemen, probably sensing that a lot of Conan's units have been routed or are severely weakened, and if he can get in contact with them again, he may well rout the remaining Conan's units. As you can see, Cal sent reinforcements over to help TR, but now he needs to watch his own army as King's Miller infantry was moving in there, but they're decided to pull back now to help Conan. As you can see, TR is moving his pikemen forward here because he can see that what's left of Conan's infantry is pretty weakened units. My guess is what he's thinking here is if he can actually get them into an engagement against his pikemen, a lot of Conan's infantry may start to rout. So that's why I think he's actually playing such an aggressive way with Macedon here. You don't often see Macedon played with aggression. They're usually used as kind of a holding force, or if they do attack, they move in a very dense bulk formation. This way it kind of protects their flanks and rear with so many pikes. As you can see now, TR is charging his cavalry into some of Conan's weakened units, and as you can see, that has done the trick. It's actually routed some of his units. Legion 21's brought his cavalry over. He'd spotted the danger there to help Conan, and forcing TR to retreat his cavalry. But if you notice, TR has still got his pikemen moving forward there, and are causing a great deal of casualties to the Julii infantry. As you can see, the only thing that Conan can do with what he's got left of his infantry is pull back now, which is what he's doing. And if you notice that TR wants, as I said earlier, he's seeing that Conan's units are so weakened that he's almost giving chase with his pikemen, hoping that to catch some of Conan's retreating infantry. Because they've been so weakened, they would probably rout on contact with the pikes. Meanwhile, over on the far left flank here, you can see that Uther's fighting Legion 22, and if you notice that Legion 22's brought his cavalry over here to help his teammate out, King Miller, and he smashed them into the flank of Cal's infantry here, and that was a good move by Legion 22. He's actually left his infantry there to fight with Uther's infantry. If you notice, Uther's got some cavalry units in behind Legion 22, but Legion 22 spotted that and moved some infantry to face them. As you can see, Legion 22's cavalry smashing in here and routing loads of Cal's infantry as he's hit them in the rear as they're fighting. So Legion 22's cavalry's caused a hell of a lot of casualties there, and with all that Julii infantry there now, facing a few Macedon units and a few of Cal's units that's left, things might not be looking so good for Cal, Uther and TR's team there. And what we're going to see now is Legion 22, I would think from this angle, he's going to try and get behind Uther's engaged infantry here. As you can see, here's a close-up of them running. And I think he's going to try and get behind and charge in here, which is what he's done. As you see, his own infantry are fighting Uther's infantry, so he knows that they're all engaged, and that's why he's brought his cavalry around there in the hope to rout some of Uther's units. But if you notice, Uther saw the danger and has moved disengaged some of his infantry and moved them over to help fend off the enemy cavalry there. Meanwhile, over on TR's flank here, you can see that the enemy Julii infantry are behind him and in front of him. So things are not looking that good for TR at the moment, looking at all that infantry around him. Cal's helping as much as he can with the units that he's got left, but he has not got a lot of units left there, so things are not looking very good for the team there. As you see here, Legion 22 wanted to beat what was left of Uther's cavalry, which it's done, and it wants to get behind, right behind Uther's engaged infantry here, and then what he really wants to do is just charge straight in. You can see, I'm going to pause the game here for a second just to say, any new players watching this is what we call the hammer and anvil attack. The infantry are the anvil and the cavalry are the hammer. And what you can see is Legion 22's infantry is going to hold tight Uther's infantry as the anvil, if you like, and then he's going to smash in with his cavalry as the hammer. And you see there as he charged in. But if you notice that Uther sent his cavalry general in, which kind of deflected some of the cavalry units there, charging in. Because usually with an impact like that into the back of engaged infantry, that does cause a rout. But Uther's infantry is held very well there. My guess is that Legion 22 will pull his cavalry back out and charge in again, making the full use of the cavalry charge bonus. Meanwhile, over on the far left, TR has done extremely well with his Macedon pikemen and has really whittled down the Julii infantry that was attacking him. And to my surprise, he's done really well. Because he was surrounded by Julii infantry, I didn't think he had much chance, but he's done extremely well there. And as you can see, Legion 22's charged in again, and this time he's caused Uther's army to kind of mass rout. And I thought Uther's army held out for a long time there and did very well, but that final cavalry charge, that final hammer blow, kind of just did the trick there and made his units rout. So now we've got all that Julii infantry and cavalry against a few broken Macedon units and a few weakened Scipio units for Cal and TR. So the scene is set for the final chapter of the battle. And for the way that TR has been fighting with those Macedon units, I think he'll give a good account of himself in the final battle. So let's see what happens next. At this final stage of the battle, you can see that the battle lines have been drawn up. TR and Cal, with a few broken units, facing all that Julii infantry and cavalry there. It's kind of like the final last stand of the battle, I would think, here. As you see, they've got cavalry around the flanks and are moving infantry around the flanks as well here. So I would guess that the end would be, in the old saying, the end would be nigh.
The enemy show their true virtue. They are not soldiers.
You can see Cal's moving infantry unit through Julii lines with a view to going into the back of a fighting Julii infantry, which is a good move. But as you can see, the Julii cavalry charging in there has routed one of Cal's units there. And as you can see, most of TR and Cal's units are now routing, and it looks like the end of the battle there. But it was a really great battle, a to and fro battle there, and I thought it was a really entertaining battle to watch. And I think it's been one of those battles that probably we would all like to have been in there. It was quite an exciting battle right up to the end. And as the last few of the units are routed there. If you look all over the battlefield, you'll see loads of dead. You can see piles of dead in certain places all over the battlefield, where you can see how widespread the battle was, and all the action that was going. And so I'd just like to say well done to everybody in the game. Everybody played really well. I thought TR, the way that TR used Macedon was really good. He used him in a very good defensive role, but also in a very good attacking and aggressive role as well. And if you look at the kills that he's got, I think that's showing how well he actually played Macedon. I'd like to say really well played to all the other Roman generals as well. There were some great moves there. Legion 22 played extremely well. They're moving his cavalry around the battlefield, hitting targets left, right and centre, and getting some great kills for himself as well and for his team. Well done to Uther and Cal, who played extremely well, and well done to Conan and King, and the King as well, a player. The Spartan Commander saying goodbye for now, and thanks very much, Legion 22.